Good morning, everybody. Well, it's a bit of an annoying morning. It's not really a good morning because we're here again. Here again at Rusty Autos, the absolute legends. In the last episode, we've realised we fixed the leak from the sump. Now we have another leak from the crank seal. It's a bit annoying, Jack, isn't it? So, with the time we had last time, we didn't have time to order a new crank seal. So we tried something to fix the crank seal, and it didn't work. So today, we're sadly, well, I don't know, is it sadly?
No, it's not sadly.
We're pulling the engine out. These guys are, I feel really bad. They're going above and beyond to sort this fucking shit box out. Oh yeah, I've got a show in about a week. 10 days.
Oh, no.
11 days. So, what time, what, engine out by 1 o'clock?
No, before that.
It's a bit before that.
12 o'clock. I was going to say 12, but I didn't want to seem like I was being more of a cunt than I already am being. I'm guessing that I'm the gearbox guy.
You're the only one who can fit under the car.
I'm the skinny cunt. I'm the gearbox guy. Take the gearbox, let me just pull the engine straight up. My reverse lights worked when you was pulling out. Yeah. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
That's cool.
It just needs to come out, mate. Let's have a proper look at it, because it could be coming from somewhere else that we're not even seen. But we'll see. We'll see what's what.
Yeah, we'll get the engine out. And while the engine's out, I'm gonna put the rest of them little silicone hoses on, replacing for them rubber ones, the ones that I couldn't get to. But right, let's not talking, not much videoing about getting the gearbox off and stuff because we've done it 100 times. I'm gonna get the gearbox off and we're gonna start pulling. And you'll see when we're pulling the engine out. Okay, everybody, the time is now. It's 11:26. The gearbox is off. Everything is off. Everything's ready. Well, the engine's ready to come out, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got to just strap the engine up. We've got a hook on there, hook on the back, all the wiring is out of the way. A lot of people pull the engines with the gearboxes off, and a lot of people leave the gearbox on the mounts. We've just took the gearbox off because we can do it in like 20 minutes. And it just gives you so much room, because what we found is, because we can't pull the front bar off, it's welded, trying to put the engine in with the gearbox was a fucking nightmare, wasn't it, mate? Yeah. It was almost impossible. So now, hopefully what we're going to do is obviously just pull it forward and just lift it straight out. Instead of trying to, as you see in the first time we took it out, or put the engine back in, it was an absolute nightmare trying to arch it out. Right, here she is. Damn, baby!
I think it's coming from
the back.
Because this is all dry up here.
Yeah.
All the half moons that people was on about, they're all dry.
Yeah.
All the feeds are dry. It's literally, it's this area. You can see where it's all wet. Because we had to make the gaskets, didn't we?
Right.
Actually, you made the gasket, didn't you? Do you know when I told you to get all locks in? And you made the gasket.
How many times did you actually make the gasket?
I made the gasket. I don't know. I don't even know. I think I'm gonna struggle getting a gasket for that. Are we still gonna fuck the sleeve off then?
I think so.
Yes, I think so. Yes, yeah, I think so too.
I think get rid of it while it's out.
Yeah.
And then.
That was a.
I think we'll take them.
It weren't fucking cheap, that fucking sleeve either.
Was it not?
Nah.
How much?
It was 60 fucking quid.
Was it really?
Was it actually?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say £6.
No, it was a minimum 50 quid. I think it was like 50 odd quid or something.
Jesus Christ.
I know, mate. Yeah, because it looks wet up here, doesn't it, on these bolts?
Wet here as well. Yeah, I think it's coming through all around the side.
Okay, so we're in a predicament. So we think it's coming all from the rear of this housing here, and you can actually see like where the dowels are. You can actually see oil in there, and you can see where oil, it looks like it's coming through the bolt holes as well. So we've gone to look to buy another one of them paper gaskets, and Nissan can only get them from Japan, and they said it's going to be 3 months. And we've looked online, and there is nowhere but one single place in West Yorkshire that sells them in a whole kit. We can't get them anywhere, so we've messaged our guy who builds these, and he says them paper gaskets are shit, sack them off and just use proper sealant. So we're in a situation where if we can do it now, we can take it off now and do it now, we just not put a paper gasket on there. We've got all the genuine other gaskets, it's just not that paper one, but someone's saying fuck them off, and they're impossible to get anyway. Or we order that, wait for that gasket, and either way we're going to be putting it in and praying, because it's either use a paper gasket which someone said shit, and we've got a paper one there in a minute and it's fucking leaking, or we just use the Nissan sealant, which we know is good because that's actually fucking stood up pretty well. I think what we're leading towards doing is doing it now with the Nissan sealant.
Yeah.
Instead of buying that paper gasket, which we've been told to sack off because it's shit and it's impossible to get anyway. So JDM Garage do like every single gasket under the sun, but they don't sell them. So surely it's not that.
No, but what are you going to do? You're going to order that other gasket just in case.
So we're going to order that gasket just in case because I fucking love wasting money. But I'd rather order that gasket and not need it.
Exactly.
Then, oh shit, we've got to take the engine out. Never mind, the gasket's here.
If we're ordering the gasket, it's sat there just in case we do have to take it out again. If he's building CA18s and he's saying sack off that gasket, I mean, what we've got to lose except a bit of time.
Exactly. It takes an hour and a bit to get the engine out. So, and we can crack on with it. Obviously, the engine's not going to go in today. Like looking at it more, you can see where the oil's coming from. Like that dowel there is wet, and with a paper gasket, that's not going to cover that dowel, is it? Yeah, but if it's not the perfect size, as of when, because we fucking made it with a knife. Sorry, it's a roll we. I made it with a knife. That's probably what the whole thing is. I'm actually thinking it's totally my fault for cutting that gasket.
It is what it is, though, isn't it?
Because there's no way I could have made that fucking tiny little circular thing perfect. No. It's my fault. I know it. It's my fault.
There's no way you can do it,
But with sealant, that'll cover them little holes.
Yeah, it'll butt it up right to the point.
So the guy who builds engines in the garage, he was saying, make sure you cover these holes. Make sure you cover these holes and then fucking make a gasket, sack off the paper one. So I think we've made a decision, guys, right?
It's a learning curve, isn't it? So
it is.
Trial and error.
Unseal it all, take the sump off, do the sump properly with all the genuine gaskets at the bottom.
We'll leave it for 2 days to cure as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll put it all back in.
Here she comes. This is very satisfying. Oh yeah.
Put red main off with it.
This is not what happened. There it is. So this sleeve is coming off, yeah?
Yeah.
Somehow. So we are removing this sleeve. On the website it says you can use a bit of heat, but how much pressure are you putting on that? Like not much at all.
No, just literally twisting the screw.
Just twitch it and it's coming off. So that's probably another reason why it's leaking. It's probably just seeping through that, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get this off because it wasn't leaking before this sleeve. So it's been leaking through this seal. See the oil? The crank's piss wet as well.
Right hand side top row.
Like that's wet, and you can actually see all the oil in here.
Whose idea was that, Lee?
Put that sleeve on?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking dumb cunt. So it's a mixture of a few things.
Yeah. This is definitely leaking through that dowel.
Yeah.
So if you're looking,
That was 100% my fault. Like I know it was making that shit gasket. So don't delegate me tasks that I can't do, Jack.
No, wait. It had sealant on as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's definitely going for that fucking dowel. You can literally
You can see
My
how
camera's
wet
not
it is
going to pick it
inside.
up, but
No,
you can see it.
they're all dry, but then the little dowels both wet. The left hand side more than the right, but you can see.
Dripping from always
60 quid, mate. That
Fucking 60 quid, that.
Take it to the scrap man. You'll get back.
Refund. So what's the plan, Jack? We're going to do. You've done a smear.
Yeah, no, just do a little bead around.
You're going to do a bead.
And then the dowels are covered.
Oh, that's what the dowels are covered, yeah. Right, so we've got it on. We found that these bolts cost 9 Newton meters, so we're properly talking everything. Third main sealant going in? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the engine block there are holes. This one, is that one there? This one here and this one here that are actually on the engine, but not on the sump. So we're going to drill some holes in the sump so we can get compressed, because from that bolt to that bolt it's a long distance, and look, there's supposed to be one there in the middle and here at the end, which would just make the gaps a little bit tighter, but there aren't any holes, so we're going to drill some holes in there. Okay, so now there are 16 bolts in the sump instead of 10, and the massive difference is you could see where there was like a lip where there wasn't a bolt before, and we're just tightening it up so it all flattens down, And if that bolt weren't there, there'd be a massive gap there. As long as you just tighten it down, it's kind of just pull itself together. So there's 16 bolts in now instead of 10. So the sump is here, it's all cleaned. We're gonna soak this bitch up with my Nissan sealant. And we've got the genuine half moons from Nissan.
From where?
Nissan. Isn't it? You fucking dickhead. Fucking, it's got a fucking pink bumper here. Right, so we've put a little bit of sealant underneath one of the half moons. Sealed it right down here as well in the crack. I just shit myself. I thought they were the wrong size ones. That was not fun.
It was fun.
Like, and you in the packet, they were like, they're tiny. That's the wrong ones.
So
like, look how fucking small that is. We're taking no prisoners. Any sort of like gap, we're putting a bit of sealant because we're not taking any fucking prisoners this time. So I'm gonna do a small bead of sealant underneath the gasket. And this one stuff. Cute gasket. Boop.
Don't think I've ever heard anybody call a gasket cute.
So again, we're going to put a nice little layer, like smudged in, and then we're going to go around with a bead, yeah?
Yeah.
There it goes. Is all we're putting just a little bead on there, yeah? Not even a bead, we're not putting a bead on them bits.
No, I shouldn't have to.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
No, we'll put bead on the bits.
Are we gonna put a...
I don't know, we'll see what it's like when it, it's bolted down. We'll see how much it sits, but we might actually fill that gap in maybe. We'll
Yeah,
see.
because the second time we filled that gap in, there's something stopped leaking, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's someone leaking the second time round, was it?
We're going to put some
Are we
there
going to
anyway.
put any here, Jack?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Well done.
Oh shit.
She's in there. Looking miles better. We're going to leave her here for a few days, right?
Yeah, let it dry for a few days.
Let it dry.
And then
Come back next week sometime. Yeet it in. Big send.
How long do we reckon it's going to take us to put it in?
3 hours.
So, how long did it take us to take it out?
An hour and a bit.
I reckon 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah? Right, I'll let you guys crack on. Thank
Alright,
you
mate.
guys are the
See you in a
fucking
bit.
best.
Ratchet, I mean.
I'm fist bumping you in my head, alright, but you're too busy, so it's fine. You're the fucking best guys. See you Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bye. Honestly, a huge thank you to them guys. They've not had to do this and they've been getting a bit disheartened. So have I, but like obviously they've started to think that it's they're just starting to get a bit annoyed that it's like obviously this fucking piss take of a leak is starting to impact, you know, what they've done as a job as a whole, which obviously guys, I know you've been watching this and I wanted to, it hasn't. The job you've done as a whole is fucking unbelievable. We're just having a lot of teething issues. So you guys are the fucking best. Thank you so much. I'm incredibly grateful of what you've done for me, and I know the whole channel is, and I know everyone is overwhelmed by what you've done as a build as a whole. So one more thank you to you guys. I know this is going to be the last, well, one more video putting the engine in and it's going to be fixed, because it was quite obvious when we took that off where it was coming from. And to be honest, I genuinely believe it was my fault for making a paper gasket and not getting a small enough circle and dowels. I actually pretty sure it's my fault the whole time. But it was leaking from that sleeve as well, because you can see it's getting oil into the sleeve, so that's not good either. But you know, it's these little things and you just learn as you go, and I've learned a hell of a lot, and genuinely means the world to me, guys. So thank you. I've got a nice 3-hour drive back to London, but we're in the Audi, not a train like last time.